Hi, this is Mike Spogani, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I want to deal today with character audit for ministers. I want to speak about some characteristics of a minister, or what we can call some credentials or some character elements that a minister should have. And any minister, of course, and I want us to understand that when we speak about ministers, we're not speaking about pastors only, but we're speaking about any minister that ministers to people. That could be a praise and worship leader, that could be any departmental leader, or anyone who stands in front of a church or a ministry in order to minister to others. As long as you minister to others, these are character traits, therefore, for you. And I just want to deal with that today so that you can be helped to know what is necessary from you or expected from you in any case. Now, the first thing that you is a character of a minister should be a good reputation. And a good reputation is something that is a perception of others because of what you've done. People look at you and they have favor over you. They basically look at you and find that there's nothing that they can actually look down upon, or actually look at you and say you are tarnished here or not. So when we speak about good reputation, is the good talk from people. It's actually the way other people are perceiving you. How people see you is very, very important. I know there are people that will say, I don't care about what people say. I don't care how people feel. I care only about what God says. So, and that is not on when you think that way, because it is very important actually to take care of what people think about you. And that's what we call reputation. And that reputation should not be tarnished. It must be a very good reputation that people know you with good things, not with bad things at all. So that's a good character for a leader. And therefore, any minister that is ministering to people should actually make sure that you have good reputation. Secondly, there's what we call temperate. Temperate is particularly ability to control your temper. You must be cool and calm. You must be an individual that is able to control your feelings, to control how you think and how you deal with people. And that's somebody who's able to keep calm even in situations that are of pressure. So therefore, as a minister, you need to be temperate enough. You need to be somebody who is actually able to deal with people, not harshly, but deal with people in a very, very calm manner. And that's very important that we mention that. Another thing is respectable. A leader or a minister should be respectable. Now, people don't respect you just because you're a minister, but people respect you because of how you treat them and how you deal with them, how you handle your own life, day-to-day life. When people look at you and they look at how do they encounter you, how do they see you, how do they experience you. And that's very important. And that's the only way you're going to be respectable, based on how people see you and how people experience you as well. So a minister should be respectable. A minister should also be hospitable. And hospitable, for sure, would be something that the minister should be conscious of. He should be able to care for each and every individual and make sure that everyone experiences the same. So we speak about whereby you treat people in a nice way. You are hospitable to people. You're basically welcoming to people. You're making people to be comfortable with dealing with you. And when they're in your process, they feel welcome. They feel at home as well. And they feel embraced, because that's very important if we are going to speak about hospitable. And ministers should be hospitable. And therefore, let people be able to deal with you as a minister, and you're not difficult to them in your dealings with them. The other thing that is a very good character audit trait for ministers is to be able to teach. As a minister, of course, that's the reason why you're called a minister. You should be able to teach within the area that you are a minister in. So in other words, if we have somebody who's a musician or a singer, and you are a minister in singing, you should be able to teach people within the line of singing. You should be able to teach people that which you're dealing with, or that which is your calling in your life. And that's very important. So please prioritize teaching other people. Because also remember, as a minister, you need to mentor people. You need to make people learn from you and grow. And that's mentorship. So therefore, every leader or every minister should be able to mentor others. And that is why the teaching aspect comes into place, and is very important for us to mention that. So it's a very, very important character trait of a minister to be able to teach. You need also not to be a drunkard. This is very important, because there are many people that are ministers, but yet they subject themselves to alcohol. And remember, the problem with alcohol generally is that you'll be talking things that you didn't plan to talk. You will actually behave in a manner sometimes that is unacceptable amongst the people. And that's the reason why we say a minister should not be a drunkard. And that's very important. And we need actually to be sober-minded as ministers, so that people can actually look up to you and respect you. People can honor you. And many times you'll realize that people that are given themselves to be drunkards, a majority of the people cannot have control of themselves. They cannot control their emotions. They cannot control how they behave. And that is why most of the time, the people that have given themselves to alcohol would actually be out of order generally in many times. And this is very, very important. And I don't think this is subjective. I think it's objective enough that you don't need to be a drunkard in order to be a minister. Or when you are a minister, please avoid being a drunkard. Gentle is one of the traits that a minister should have. You need to be gentle with people in your talk, in your dealings with people. So please remain gentle at all times. And that's very important that we emphasize that as well. That as a minister, please be gentle when you deal with people. Let people actually look up to you and know that you're always gentle when you speak to them. And how you treat them, you always take care of how they will feel about it. And that's why it's very important that the minister should be gentle as well. Self-control is one of those traits that are very important. Now, you need to be with a very high level of self-control as a minister, because there are things that are tempting and challenging, things that will be challenging you to do, and you need to actually reflect well to people. So it is very important, therefore, that we emphasize the fact that you need to be able to control yourself, your emotions, control what you talk, what you think, and all those things are very important, because if you don't, this is going to reflect badly to people. And as a minister, you need to put up a good image to the people, but it's only a good image when you are able to control yourself and choose the ways that you speak, choose the places that you go, choose the things that you do, and the type of behavior that you behave should be actually highly looked after, because it's very important that we look at that and say, please have self-control. The other thing about a minister is to be sensible. Now, it's very important to be sensible in the sense that everything that you do should have sense. So everything that you talk should actually make sense. That's the only example that you can set for people to look up to you. For you to become a role model, you need to be highly sensible. And ministers becomes role models to people. And I'm sure you agree with me that majority of the ministers are looked up upon by the people in the communities. People want to see them as role models. And that is why it's very important, therefore, to be sensible in everything that you do, so that people can see you as a true role model at all times. That's very key and very important. You need not to be quarrelsome as a leader and as a minister, because quarrelsome ministers, they're actually painting a bad picture of ministers. They're actually repelling people that they need to be ministering to. And remember also, when you look at the people that have to receive your gift or your ministry, they are the people that need to be loving you and embracing you. But when you're quarrelsome with people, you're basically repelling the people. You're basically chasing the people that are supposedly to become your audience, the people that need to be recipients of your ministry. And you minister to them. So therefore, when you minister to people, make sure that you're not quarrelsome with them. You are actually gentle with them, as we mentioned earlier. And that's very key that we mentioned that as well. Do not be the lover of money. We have seen that people that are lovers of money, they become very manipulative. And they become manipulative in a way that they forever see money when they see people. And whatever they do, they actually want to charge. They want to put a price on it. And that is irritating for people. And it's actually repelling people as well, because people don't have money at all times. And if you are manipulative and you love money more, you're going to make people to run away from your ministry. People are not going to appreciate you either in your ministry, because when they see you, they see somebody who's going to demand the money. So don't be a lover of money as a minister. We have seen ministers that are lovers of money, everything that they do. Even when you want to see them, they may call it one-to-one, but they are charging you a fee for seeing them. And that's not on, because if you're ministering to people, you don't need to actually deny them access to yourself just because you are a lover of money. And what about those that cannot afford money that you're calling for? And we know that most of the one-to-ones as well, they become very expensive. 7,500, imagine that. That's a lot of money. And not many of the people will be able to do so. What if there's a poor soul that doesn't have money, but yet they want to be ministered to by you? And now you're charging these exorbitant fees that they cannot afford, but yet they need to be ministered by you. So that's very key, that you consider that as a minister, that please don't be a lover of money. You need not to be a new convert. And I think ministers, it must be emphasized that ministers should not be new converts. Should not be somebody who's born again yesterday, and therefore you want to minister to people. Then you want to be a leader and open your own church at a very young age spiritually. That's very disturbing, because we see many people doing that. But I want to emphasize today that it's very key that as a young minister, you need to grow first. You need to submit yourself somewhere and grow, develop, and then thereafter you can be able to minister to people. So that's very, very key, that you don't become just a new convert moving into ministering to people and opening your own church and start preaching to people. That will be actually very, very inadequate. That will be immature of you to do so. And I'm emphasizing that because we have seen new converts opening churches. We have seen new converts actually ministering to people in a very arrogant manner, actually, in a destroying manner. Because when you minister to people and you're not matured, you are just definitely not going to control it. You're going to do things wrongly. I'm emphasizing this because it's very important as well. But also, please, love the things that honor God when you're a minister. Love the things that honor God and things that will set an example of loving God and so on. That's very important. So whatever you do should be something that honor God. Whatever you say must be things that honor God. Your behavior as well should be in a way that honors God. So you should actually appreciate things that honor God, and not to be in the midst of people that don't honor God as well, because that tarnishes your image. You look like them because the birds of the same feathers, they fly together, and that's how people see it. So please make sure that in general you love things and even people that love God, in a sense that your company of people should be people that love God, because if you do actually hook yourself up with criminals, you're going to look like a criminal as well. So love things that love God. But can I actually emphasize that you need to be holy as well, and be persuaded about holiness, and make sure that holiness becomes a priority in your life as a minister. An exemplary life is actually a holy life. So therefore, every minister should actually prioritize this. It may be difficult for many, but I must emphasize that it's a necessity. It's an audited character that every minister should have, a holy life, because it's very, very important to do so. So hold firm to your faith, because there are those ministers that really are flaky, in the sense of moving from one place to another. They're shaky like a reed in water. Why I'm mentioning this is because there are people that are not standing on their faith. Today they're believing in this, tomorrow they're believing in something else. And when you are doing that, you're confusing other people and you're confusing yourself as well. And those people that you need to be ministering to, you're basically confusing them. And they're not going to trust you and believe in you, because they want you to stick to your faith in order to respect you. And that's very key. Please don't be quick to temper as well. don't be quick to be angry. Because a leader or a minister that is quick to get angry, you may find yourself saying wrong things. You may find yourself behaving in a wrong way either, or dealing with people in a wrong way. And that's something that you must avoid at all times. And I've mentioned this before, that please be sensible. Be careful of what you say. Be careful of how you behave, because that's going to be very important. Don't be quick to temper. And please have a long-suffering heart that will not be angry quickly. And that's very key that we mentioned that. Finally, never pursue what we call dishonest gains. Never be corrupt. Never be involved with things that are wrong. And for the persuasion of money, or you pursuing money or something, or fame and so on. But never pursue dishonest gains. Don't gain money because of dishonesty. That becomes very key, because that will cause a scandal on you, tarnish your name and your self-image. When it's tarnished, you're not going to be able to recover that. So please never pursue dishonest gains at all times as a minister, because that will tarnish your name completely. I want to end up here today. Your host, Makona Spokane, thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great topic. I want to urge you to join us tomorrow as we deal with another topic. And please, may the good day be a good day to you. And allow me to say cheers for now.